Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another brand new Mattel Jurassic World Legacy Collection set. Mattel has definitely been giving us a little bit of the Legacy Collection recently, as I had just reviewed the Berry set yesterday. We now have the Isla Sorna Expedition pack today, and what's really exciting about this one is not the fact that we have another Velociraptor, it's also not the fact that we've got some more compies, because we've had a lot of those in the past, or even this vehicle, even though the vehicle definitely looks cool. It's the fact that we have a Dino Stark figure over here in the left. You can see right there. So 2 days in a row of Mattel introducing brand new human figures to the line. Characters that we have pretty much been wanting in the line for a long time, and very cool to finally see them here. You can see, as far as the packaging goes, it's actually quite nice. I feel like the earthy area underneath the vehicle, as well as that backdrop there with the trees and everything, resembles Isla Sorna at least a little bit. And then of course the Legacy Collection logo up there. And if we turn the box around and take a look at the back, you can see some images here basically showing off everything we've got going on. We've got, of course, Dino Stark, we've got the vehicle, and we also have a Lost World Jurassic Park tiger-striped raptor included in here, even though he's not really that great of a raptor. But still fun to have one, because I am a huge fan of the Lost World raptors. I guess I'm just technically a huge fan of every raptor from Jurassic Park and even Jurassic World. But you can see the set looks fun as always, so let's pop it out of the box and check it out. So there we go, we have everything now out of the packaging, standing here before us and looking quite cool. The Raptor does look pretty fun, but of course there's always things that could have improved that figure. However, I do really quite like the inclusion of the compies for obvious reasons if you are familiar with the Lost World Jurassic Park, as that is exactly how Dino Stark meets his demise. And again, the vehicle definitely looks pretty fun, absolutely looks to have some nice playability to it, as all Mattel vehicles usually do. So let's go ahead and jump straight to a closer look, and we'll check it out from there. So beginning with Dino Stark, you can see they absolutely nailed his resemblance. I actually think he might be one of the best looking Mattel human being figures that I've seen in quite a while. And, that's really quite saying something, because they usually release at least pretty decent humans, but I feel like more so than most, they've really captured his likeness with this figure, which is really cool. You can see his eyes are painted pretty nicely. He's also got some facial hair. You can see the lips are painted on top of everything. As you lead around, you can see his hair is also painted and very nicely sculpted. You can see, exactly the way his hair looked in the film. They've captured that very nicely as well. The ears are sculpted as well. And then we, of course, have neck articulation, like you usually do for the Mattel human figures. Moving down here, you can see he's got this vest on, and that is nicely done as well. You can see some wrinkling and creasing within the vest. He's got lots of pockets and stuff, again replicating the attire that he wore in the Lost World Jurassic Park quite nicely. You've got the same thing going on back here, of course, minus the pockets, but you've got all the creasing and everything like we saw on the front. And of course, this actually just sits on him. And then you can see the shirt he's wearing also sports the same type of thing. Again, some pockets, some nice creasing and everything. You can see the buttons running up through the front of the shirt and everything like that. Of course, the arms do have some articulation. You can go forward and back with the arms and out away from the body, which is very nice to see. Same deal for the elbow, where you can go forward and back and then also swivel. So, pretty much your standard when it comes to Mattel articulation. That's usually what the regular humans have. A little bit more you'll find on the Hammond collection, but the normal human beings usually have about that much. You can see that we've also got some nice detailing within his hands. You can even see his knuckles and everything as you move down. Very nicely sculpted. What else is really fun is as you move down, you can see he's got like a little belt on him here that is actually a separate piece that's not connected. That's a separate piece that you can put on. You can obviously pull off. But as you move down, you can see the legs also sport some nice articulation, as well as some nice detailing. You've got all the creases and everything in his pants, like you would expect to see all the way down here. You can see sculpted nicely into his boots. The boots are the same color as his pants. And then, of course, you also actually have midsection articulation, which you can see for a second there was a little stiff, but same type of articulation for the legs, again forward and back and out away from the body. And then of course knee articulation as well, and the knees can also swivel. And then the same thing here for the rear side of Dino Stark. But That is definitely a really nicely done figure. I would say that's actually probably one of my favorite Mattel human figures that we've seen so far. And then, of course, the prod that he includes in his weaponry, you can see is nicely sculpted. A little extra paintwork. A lot of the time when you get these extra weapons, you don't normally have any extra paintwork, but we've got a dark brown and then a lighter brown out here. So that is pretty cool, but there's not really a whole lot going on when it comes to that we really need to check out. And then, of course, we on top of that also have some compies. Now, the compies are really cool because, again, that is how we see Dino Stark meet his demise. Again, the compies take him out. And it is neat to see that we've got a few compies here so you can kind of cover him with the compies to recreate his death scene. But these are compies we've had numerous times from Mattel, so there's nothing that we really need to go over when it comes to these. There are two that are the same sculpt. You can see these two are the same sculpt, and then you've got one other one that is sculpted in a different position. These two have their mouths closed. This one has its mouth open. This one has its tail extended. The tails are curved on that one, so a little bit different as far as the pose and positioning, but they're pretty fun figures. I would really love to see Mattel give us like a super colossal Compsognathus or something like that. I mean, just the fact that they'd be advertising it as a full-size, life-size dinosaur, I feel like could definitely make some sales for them. But as you move down here into the vehicle itself, the truck that we have for Dino Stark, you can see that is also really beautifully done. And as always, I love seeing the InGen logo here on this side. That is definitely really cool as well. You can see the door looks really cool. Definitely has that very strong military style to it when it comes to the appearance of the vehicle of the truck. We've got like these cages here on the front of the windshield, which again is definitely something that you see in the Lost World Jurassic Park. I don't know if we can remove that. Now, it kind of looked like we potentially had the opportunity to pull that out, but yeah, it don't seem like it's going anywhere. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Same type of like almost armored sort of a look as you move down here into the front of the vehicle. You can see we've got some stickers for the headlights, as well as some more stickers as you move through the front. A lot of detail here for the front. You can also see we've got a hook, but that's not something that actually extends. But as you move back here, you can see the wheels look quite nice. We've also got some nice mobility in those. And then as you lead here to the back of the truck, you can see that we've got ourselves kind of like a little cage area here for our Raptor to be contained within. You can also see we've got some scratch marks down there, so clearly the Raptor has been going a little bit crazy back here. There are also some pegs down here that would help you to apply any human figures that you might be interested in putting back here, because the humans, some of them normally, actually, let's see if Dino Stark has it. So yeah, so there you go. You can see that we've got like some peg holes on the undersides of the feet. So you can put him back here to have him stand up in the back of the truck. We do also have the ability to pull down the rear gate here, so that gives you a little bit more as far as the playability aspect goes. These kind of wiggle, but they don't seem to really do much as far as actually moving. On top of that, you can lift the back of the vehicle up, which you can see goes up pretty high. That's definitely pretty cool, giving you a nice visual, also a nice way to display the set, and just more, again, playability. We can also open the doors, which is definitely something that, you know, I really think should be included in every vehicle when it can be. You can see that we've got the steering wheel in there, and the entire inside of the vehicle does look quite nice. There's absolutely some nice fine detail contained within there, the seats and everything as well. And then, of course, we can close the door again. If you take a look here at the back, we do have the tail lights on the back of the vehicle. Again, they're applied with stickers. There's also some more slash marks, so obviously they've been encountering some dinosaurs quite a bit with the vehicle here. You have even more slash marks over here, and obviously this door can open as well. It was already partially open, just sitting here. But overall, I feel like the vehicle is actually really, really well done. As always, again, Mattel definitely doing a great job on the vehicles that they release. And then we've got ourselves the Velociraptor. And the Velociraptor is okay looking. There's just not really much to it. It looks to be a sculpt that we have had in the past. Yeah, it definitely looks like it to me. It actually almost looks like the same sculpt we had just seen on the Velociraptor Charlie in the Legacy Collection set I had reviewed yesterday. But when it comes to the actual paintwork of the Raptor, you do have that nice orangish tone that you do see on the tiger-striped Raptors, so that of course is a great thing. You do also have the striping moving down along the back, and you can see it, even though it should begin way up here in the top of the dinosaur, it does only begin in the shoulder area, runs through the course of the hip region, and ends before we get to the tail. It does look really nice and smooth on the back here as far as the actual placement of that paint. It does look really, really nice. But it could have looked fantastic if they had actually given us that paint out onto the tail and up there onto the neck. I feel like that could have made a world of difference for the figure. You do have a little bit more of that brown up here in the face that borders around the eye and runs up here into the palate, as well as a light tone for the lower jaw that runs down through the throat and then disappears before we even reach into the chest. Then we have no coloration on the underside of the Raptor at all. We also do not have painted nails, and I don't see a speckling of any kind on the Raptor. So again, definitely a few things that could have without question been improved for this figure. Would have been that light tone running along the underside the entire way would have been really nice, but at the very least maybe out into here, and then that striping extending through the course of the body. And I feel like we could have had one really nice looking Lost World Jurassic Park tiger striped Raptor. Of course it wouldn't be absolutely perfect as far as the sculpt goes, but overall I feel like that could have been at least a fairly decent looking version. We do have yellow eyes, and the pupil seems to be the dark brown that we have there in the face, not an actual black pupil. We do also have an articulated jaw, of course, which we have a pinkish tone for the inside of the mouth, as well as the teeth painted with like a light yellowish tone. The pink does not extend into the upper side of the inside of the mouth, though. And the articulation is all the same that we usually have. Again, we've got the neck articulation, which can turn left and right, up and down, arm articulation forward and back, leg articulation forward and back, and a swivel tail. And that's really about it. I do want to give you guys the Fax app code. There you go, if you'd like to add this Raptor to your collection. But overall, it is really fun to see a tiger striped Raptor in any set because I'm such a huge fan of these Raptors, but in typical fashion, this one definitely could have been improved at least a little bit.
This is another one of those sets where I don't think we really need to do sizes or comparisons or anything like that. You can very clearly see the size of the vehicle next to the dinosaur and the human being and everything that we have here. We've had so many humans, you'll of course know that they usually stay in the 3 3/4 inch size range unless it's a child or something like that. We've had about 4 million Velociraptors, and we've had the compies repeatedly in the past. So I don't feel like sizes or comparisons or anything like that are really going to benefit us this time around. So this brand new Mattel Jurassic World Legacy Collection Isla Sorna Expedition pack is pretty fun, actually. It's even more fun than I was expecting. I would actually say it's definitely more fun than the Berry set that I had reviewed yesterday. Of course, mostly due to the fact that we've got a really cool truck in this set, and the truck is really nicely done, and the fact that it absolutely screams the Lost World Jurassic Park is a pretty big selling point for that vehicle. I love the Lost World Jurassic Park. Can't even begin to express how much I love that movie. So anytime we get any set that is aimed at the Lost World Jurassic Park, or in fact any of the first 3 films, I am completely in love with it, and this is exactly the same case, of course, for this one with this vehicle. The vehicle looks great. It's got some nice playability to it. It also has some nice paintwork to it, and looks like it could fit in any Jurassic collection, whether it be Kenner all the way up from Hasbro to Mattel. Well, maybe it's a little bit too high quality for Hasbro, but it will look great in any Jurassic collection, that is for sure. And definitely, again, a top-of-the-line vehicle from Mattel yet again. I feel like they really excel when it comes to specifically these Lost World Jurassic Park vehicles. The Dino Stark figure is also fantastic, and of course, in my opinion, he is the star of the show. No matter how nice that vehicle is, I feel like the fact that we finally have a Dino Stark figure is, of course, the best part of this set, and he's absolutely, in my opinion, one of my favorite human figures that have come from Mattel so far. They just really captured his likeness so nicely. Nice paintwork, nice articulation all the way through. He's a great figure, and we also have his prod that he can use to shock those compies yet again before they kill him, and that's also pretty much, in my opinion, the perfect weapon to give him. Even though he does have other weapons in the Lost World Jurassic Park, that's the one that I feel like he's most known for. The copies are pretty fun. They're just, really, really bare bones, but the fact that they're kind of like bendable allows you to sort of articulate them and stuff definitely gives them some fun playability as well. It would be nice to have some paintwork on them once in a while because they're always just that greenish tone, but I can understand why they don't, of course. It's, just a really small figure, so it makes sense why Mattel wouldn't paint them or anything like that. I just would at least like to see like maybe a pupil or something, like some form of eye paint. But they are pretty fun figures. I would love to see Mattel take a stab at a better looking Compsignate this at some point though, even if it's like a Danger Pack version. The Velociraptor is pretty fun as well. Of course, it's definitely not a great raptor and could have used quite a bit to improve it, but it is still a Lost World Jurassic Park tiger striped raptor, and I feel like the striping along the back actually looks pretty decent on this one. A lot of the time when they give us those tiger striped raptors, they just look weird. They give it like kind of a weird patterning and stuff that doesn't really resemble the version from the film all that well, whereas this one really does. So that is definitely a huge plus for the figure, even if it does have a severe lack of paint application. There is a lot that could have been done to improve it, like painted nails, paint on the underside, the striping moving through the course of the entire body, and honestly I feel like it could have been a really, really nice interpretation of a Lost World Jurassic Park raptor. Even if the sculpt doesn't match perfectly to those raptors, it still could have looked really nice. What we have here is kind of a lackluster version of a Lost World raptor, but it is still at least pretty cool to see one again in the Mattel line, and even if it is lackluster, I do still like it. So overall, this is absolutely a fun set and absolutely a set I recommend picking up. So make sure if you are interested, you head on either over to Target, which is actually where I purchased mine on Target's website. I had it pre-ordered because I was actually really quite excited for the Dino Stark figure, and you can order it on there because again that's where I got mine and it's shipped already, or you can head on over to Target in store and purchase it there. I believe the actual street date for it is tomorrow, so it should be available very soon. One way or another, definitely a set worth picking up, so make sure you do that, and also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.